Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday to everyone. I am so excited to finally get to be sharing with you the haul that I picked up to use for our 13 Days of Halloween series coming up here. And so it was just really lousy timing on my part. The collection that I wanted really to get was delayed, and then by the time it was coming out, we were leaving town. We went to see Army's son and his wife in Kansas, and I didn't want a package to be sitting on my porch. And anyway, it was all sorted out eventually. And so I did get all of these supplies and I'm ready to get started. I'm so excited for this year. As always, it's such a fun community event. We have so much interaction and everyone comments and answers the question of the day. And it's just such a fulfilling series to create because I really do feel like we are a crafty family. And so I wanted to share with you these supplies. Now, there's still time to pick them up before the series starts if you are inspired to create with me, or you could easily use all of the projects I am going to create as inspiration and just throw your own collection in there. If you have stash supplies, I always recommend using those. I just prefer for my series to have collections that I can link to during the rest of the year. I'm all about the stash, but for a series, I really want you to be able to get your hands on these products, so that's what I'm going to focus on. I think you will also notice that I have a pretty good variety here. There are some that are definitely vintagey, some that are a little bit more whimsical, and some that are maybe even shabby chic. And I'm talking about this collection here. This is the Prima Luna collection. Now, I did miss out on the previous Halloween collection from Prima, the 31, and I really kicked myself for that. But this year, I made sure to get it, and I decided to go with the 6x6 paper pad. I think this works really well for many of the projects I create because it's a smaller pattern on that paper, and so it's a little bit easier for mini albums and cards. But I do always like to have the full size cut apart sheets, these images that I use for tip-ins or for focal images. So I went ahead and got the 6x6 pad, and then also one full sheet of these journal card, and then one full sheet of the tags. And I think those are going to be super fun to tuck into the pockets and use for journaling or for some additional pictures or ephemera. And so look at this, it's such a cute little cat in the pumpkin. Although it has orange on it, it definitely reads as kind of pastel-ween to me because these are a much lighter palette, and so these are not super vibrant colors, and so this will be a fun collection to work with. I also picked up these Prima Flowers, which I thought were Luna, and maybe they are, but they're pretty orange, and so maybe I just got confused where they were located on scrapbook.com. I should have mentioned most of the materials here that I'm going to share in the beginning came from scrapbook.com, and so I will make sure to link them in the description. There's going to be a lot of links, but I did want you to be able to find them easily if you want to head over there and pick these up for your projects. So I don't know if this is a Luna because that orange is pretty vibrant, but I'm going to use it just because I think that it still looks pretty nice together. And of course there's a lot of flowers here, so I can spread them out across many of our projects. And there was some additional styles of flowers available as well, so you might want to pick those up to add to your projects. I had a couple of single sheets here rather than the collection, and sometimes, I'm going to put my hands here because that might be hard on your eyes. Sometimes things do look a little differently on a screen. I was sitting in Army's son's living room on my Chromebook, and so I don't know if this one read exactly what I was expecting. It's still a pretty nice plaid, and I might be able to work it in. I have a baby shower coming up here in October, and so I may use this in my documenting October mini album, and so I may use this for the series, or I may hold on to it for that baby album. And so here's just a couple of extra bits that I liked from the collections that I had, but I wanted some extra sheets of it so that I could still use both sides. And so I just got these. These are all the Carta Hocus Pocus. I really love those cats. They're very 50s kitschy kind of retro pattern, and then the stripe. So I just picked up a couple extra of those. Here's the other paper pad that I got that's not the traditional 12 by 12. This is Fancy Pants design, and so this is the 6 by 8 tablet. Had a lot of fun with this brand last year, and so I definitely wanted to pick this up. They definitely have more stylized kind of flowers, and the addition of that more lilac color really kind of helps to make it a little bit more contemporary. This collection on this size has the cut apart images already included, and then I wound up getting an extra sheet of this dot to use in my October documented album. I'll show you that when we get to it in a bit, but this was a really good size too for mini albums or smaller projects because it has a more condensed pattern, but these are full size, so that makes it pretty convenient. While I'm working along with the collections, this one right here caused all the trouble. I'm really happy I did wait to get it though, because I always really love the Simple Stories Halloween collections, and this year definitely hit it right on the mark, and it has so many beautiful patterns and offset stripes and stars. I'm not going to get all of these out because I don't want to take up your whole entire evening, but they definitely always focus a lot on their journal cards and their cut apart. So you're going to have many different options for your images and your tip-ins. And then their sticker sheet is always so nice. And I'm not really probably going to use a lot of it in the series, but I will hang on to it later for my own album. And so this is going to give me a lot of options to decorate my pages. And this was the whole collection kit. I didn't pick up any of the additional ephemera pieces or the die cuts. I just always wind up picking one or two pieces out of the pack and then storing them away. And so I feel like this for me was a better value. Things are going up in price, unfortunately. And so this was kind of an investment to get all these new collections. But like I said, I wanted you guys to be able to find them in case you're interested in creating with them. So I just went ahead and got them, even though I might not use all of them this year. I'm confident they'll still be available next year. So if I have to squirrel some away for later, I'll still be able to use them. This one is so cute. P13 has really nice, not quite traditional color palettes. And so they're bringing in that purple and the green, and the images are so cute. So they not only have the full-size patterns on these pages, but they do have good cut aparts here as like journal card, and there are some that are 4 by 6, but they also have some pieces that you could fussy cut and make your own ephemera if you wanted to, and layer those up. See how nice those are? You could definitely stack these up to make an arrangement with them. And so there's 2 sheets of each. You're gonna get a lot of variety here, and some that are perfect for backgrounds because they don't contrast quite so much that it would be too busy. But this is a fun collection, and those images are very whimsical and young at heart, so I'm looking forward to working with those. This one definitely grabbed my attention whenever I saw that bluey teal color. I'm not even really sure exactly what to call that color because there's a little bit extra blue in it. It's not an exact teal, but this is Fright Night by Photoplay Papers, and these are really great images for maybe a more retro inspired project, because you're gonna get the spooky ghost, you're gonna get a little plaid, but those candies sure remind me of like 50s advertising. They're very whimsical and charming. And of course, because this is a collection pack, you're gonna get 2 of each, so I can use both sides. And then also they have a nice sticker sheet as well. So some layering options with this, and this is definitely not vintagey, but retro inspired. This one was on sale, and I'm hoping it will still be available. I'm gonna go ahead and link it if I can find it. And so these were just really good patterns for your full-size pages because they're a little bit smaller, and so you're really gonna get what the pattern is about even when you layer them up. And I liked this more of vintagey kind of orange color. It's not super vibrant. I'm not sure how well you can see that inside the plastic, but I don't want to mix these up quite yet because I do like to link to the collections when I am working for my series. And so this is Reminisce, and it's Chills and Thrills kit. So it does have a sticker sheet included here. I'm not sure that's my style so much, but I'll be curious to see if I dip into that for any of my projects. And so I did think this might be kind of fun to incorporate some of my printables in with this because I can just print off as many of the journal card cut-aparts that I need and kind of mix them in here. So I think this will be a very versatile collection, even though it doesn't have large images for focal images. I think I can incorporate some things that I have available from my shop to create some really fun projects. So we're back into the Carta, and like I mentioned before, this is Hocus Pocus. I did pick up a couple of extra sheets to go along with that so that I could have the reverse side to use as well. And this is very young at heart. I really like this collection. It has some purples and blues in it as well, so it's a little bit more updated, and I think these are really sweet images they have on the cut apart, so I'll enjoy using those. And there's a lot of options as well for that sticker sheet. So I always really love the quality of Carta paper. It's just the pattern and the texture on it makes it just feel like it's really top quality, and I appreciate that. So this one, oh, that Simple Stories collection. I waited until I could get that one. And in the meantime, the Spooky collection from Echo Park sold out as the collection pack. And I was like, what? What? But I was able to pick these up as single sheets. That means I didn't get that sticker sheet, but that's okay because this has a ton of really good journal cut aparts. These images are so perfect, and it has all the plaids, some wood grain, and very kind of a vintagey vibe. So I'm looking forward to working with this, even though I had to pick these up singly. So like I mentioned, those all came from scrapbook.com, and I did pick up a couple of extra little things there, and I've already used this one. This is a Pink and Main wreath die, and I made a Halloween card with a little wreath and some flowers, so I think I'll enjoy incorporating this into at least one of the projects. And this is, I've had this stamp set, as most of you probably have, the Pumpkin Spice from Lawn Fawn, forever. It's one of the first stamp sets that I picked up when I started using alcohol markers, and I never had the die for it, and I was just so happy when it popped up when I was looking for some Halloween dies, and so I got that. I do like to use the pumpkin spice for different holidays, so I'll just color that cup in whatever theme, or if it's Halloween, I can do orange. I've done this actually as a candy corn with stripes, and so that was fun. So I'm really looking forward to using that. And these don't really have anything to do with Halloween, but this one is just another one that I've had on my wish list, and I try to get the things in one order so that I can take advantage of shipping, and so I just threw that in the cart as well. But it's just thanks, and so it'll just be a nice addition to my sentiments for my card making. And this was a gift with purchase, a Feel Better label, and so I could probably also really use this for my card making. Got a couple of dies here that did not come from scrapbook.com. These came from Amazon. You have probably seen me using these quite a lot. These are the lawn cuts, the stitched fall leaf, and I really have been enjoying this quite a lot. There's actually some black glitter in here because I was making some glitter leaves. So these are going to be good for fall and Halloween. And this leaf here is pretty basic shape, so you could use it for all year round and it wouldn't be a fall theme. But that stitching detail really adds a lot of textured interest. So I think you'll enjoy these, and they, like I said, they came from Amazon, so no worries about shipping costs on those. And then this one I have also been enjoying using. It's just a jack-o'-lantern kind of pumpkin layering die, so you could choose different papers in the jack-o'-lantern face cuts out there, and you can add it on top with some leaves. So I have already used these, but I do plan to incorporate at least one of the projects for the series with those. While I was in Kansas, my daughter-in-law Lexi took me to Hobby Lobby. You all know I don't get to go there very often because we don't have one around here where we live. And so I only picked up a couple of things from there. I was really not expecting to find much of anything because Hobby Lobby doesn't do a lot of Halloween paper crafting. They have single sheets, and I already had all of what was available. But I did find this gymongous pack of 12 by 12 black cardstock, and I have not bought this type before. I was a little bit apprehensive because I've been burned on some paper qualities from Amazon. So I opened it as soon as I got home, and it was really good. It's 65 pound weight. It's not pretending to be 110, but this was the single largest investment of my haul. And that's just because they don't do a one item half off anymore. And so this was $22, but for 100 sheets of 12 by 12, I think this is going to be a good investment, and I can use this to create the bases for my mini albums or as backgrounds on my cards. So this will be definitely used, and it will be a perfect quality for the thicker books that I like to make. So this was a good pickup. And then also they had some gift bags, and y'all know that I like to make albums out of bags. And so this was a fun size, I think, to work with. It's 4.5 by 5.5. So it will be a super little mini style, but look at all these fun trims here hanging off the side. I kind of felt that was like maybe a fringe or something, and it has the laces. So you would typically use this as a handle and pull this portion out, but I don't think I'm gonna use it that way. So this might be a fun kind of maybe a junk journal style because it has this kind of naturally changing edge, and so that will be fun. Those are the only two things I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I also picked up some items from the Dollar Tree, as you knew I would. And the first thing is just some flowers. They're foam, and I am used to using my paper flowers, so I'm curious to see how these will go, but I did like those vibrant colors. I got a couple of sticker sheets. These are not new this year. I did have some in my previous series, and I did enjoy them, so I wasn't sure if I would incorporate them this year as well, but I did want to have them on hand in case I want to put them in my album. And these, I really did like those pink pumpkins. And so I got 2 sheets of that in case I want to use one for the series and keep one for myself. These were new, and I'm not exactly sure about a rub-on. It's kind of a experiment. I'll see how that goes. They only had 2 styles, but they had a lot of them, so they may have made sure to stock up pretty well before the holiday. Last year a lot of things sold out pretty quickly, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not really used to rub-ons, but it could be a fun way to add some images to pattern paper, so we'll see how that goes. Now they did have another set of bags in a little bit of a larger size. They do look a little bit worse for wear, but that would not show in how I make my bag albums. So they've got that really vibrant orange and the black, and it would be fun to mix these up. I can probably use these handles for kind of an altered art project, so I'll make sure to hang on to those. And you got 3 in this set, so I might be able to make some kind of a fun little mini album with that. As I mentioned, I do want to use items that are linkable, and these were the only 3 collections that I had left in my stash from last year that are still available, which was why I had to make such a large Halloween order. But these are really cute, and you can still get these from scrapbook.com. And so this is the Echo Park I Love Halloween. Those purples and greens are just so fun, and this one has the cut apart sheets as well as the stickers. And then the Halloween Party is also from Echo Park. I have almost the entire collection here. I probably just made a card with it last year and then tucked it away for future use. But of this collection, I really love that black background with the gray and orange graphic design on it. So this will definitely be used this year, and I'll be able to link it as well. And then by some stroke of luck, Graphic 45 did re-release the Steampunk Spells, and I have a lot of it on hand. Many of you know that I did design work for them for 2 years, and they were very generous, and so I'm pretty lucky to have a collection that was sent to me when I was on their design team come back around and be re-released as a collector series. And so I'm definitely going to be able to use this. And I'm just bringing down the 12 by 12 paper pad now, but I do also have the 8 by 8 and then all of the little chipboards and all that. So I'll be able to use this as well. And then I can link you right to that Graphic 45 site. So one last thing I did want to show you was that extra piece of the fancy pants that I'm going to use for my October documented. I'm not really exactly sure what I'm going to call it, but I know that I have never actually finished a daily album, and I'm trying to remove some of the stress from that and maybe just make an album that has memories or document the season. And so I thought this would go really well. This was another one of those single sheets that I picked up. And this was from Scrapbook Custom. I really just loved that larger diagonal plaid. And so I'm using the cover that I found on my dear friend Amber from Lyric Lover Craft. She did a whole tutorial series on making journals from these sleeves. And so I'll link that in the description. So if you want to run over there and see how she created these journals, and I've already reached out to her and she said it was okay, that I can make this for myself as well. And so I'm using the plastic sleeve and these patterned papers. This was from Pebbles, and I just really kind of like that more smaller scale and a lighter palette for the inside. So this is not what I have been using previously, which was trying to do a traditional traveler's notebook size, which is much thinner and taller. I think this format for me will be easier to work with. I did get the Canon selfie so I can print the pictures, and I'll have a little bit more space here to work with. So I did, you know, finish my cover, and then I strung it with the elastic so I can have these inserts to remove and put back in. And these are some patterns that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I really like that they were single-sided. They're a little bit thinner because I'm gonna wind up coming back in here and covering these pages with my collection paper. So I wanted to reduce some of this bulk. And this is just printer paper that I had took from Tech Hubby's printer. So I better refill that before he finds out. But I am not planning to do it daily, and I am not planning on committing to keeping all of my days in order. If I find a picture of something and I want to add it, I'm going to do that and not worry about the sequence of it. And I'm also going to not beat myself up about every page having something specifically Halloween, because that's just not how life is when you don't have kids and you live out in the country. And so you're not going to kid parties, and you're not going to trick-or-treating and that kind of thing. So my Halloween October will look very different than many other people's. And so I might have a picture of the cat. Well, I'm definitely going to have a picture of the cats, but I will also have a coffee picture, and we'll probably do a corn maze. We do really like to go to haunted houses. We like those jump scares. So I will have Halloween pages in here, different layouts with my pictures, but most of it, I believe, the bulk of it will just be daily life, and I'll find something interesting to document. And like I mentioned, I did have a baby shower, so I'm gonna have a Halloween baby shower layout in here as well. And I'm not quite sure at this moment how this is going to evolve into my channel. I know I want to start doing some more flip throughs. I do not want to give up my weekly tutorial, so that's not going to change. But I do want to come in and share with you more of the projects that I create, because they don't wind up on YouTube, and sometimes they don't make it to Facebook or Instagram either. I just get busy and they go in the shop, and then I move on to the next thing. So it's my goal to really share more of the projects that I make, and so I think this will be a fun addition to my channel along with my weekly tutorials. And so I might work on these when I watch football, and then some of the layouts I might do a tutorial and a flip through. So we'll see how that goes. So another thing that I wanted to mention before I go is that I did get my sewing machine working. I'm so happy because some of the projects that I have planned, I want to be able to include some of that stitching detail. It's a fun texture. And so I got it out of the closet. I figured it was as broke as it was going to be. So if I broke it even more, it wasn't going to be less useful to me. So I pushed all the buttons and I turned all the knobs, and I eventually did get it to work. So I made a little place for it to be out, and I'm hoping to incorporate stitching more often. I just made this fun little card now that I am able to stitch, and so I wanted to kind of make one doodly kind of double layer and then one straight layer. I think this adds a lot of detail to my cards. And then I did use one of those flower arrangements that I had planned to use in the series, but I do not have patience, and so I went right into that package and added this to my card. And then I did use my these are coffee cups for Christmas, but I made them with orange and I inked them, and then I used my jack-o'-lantern face here from my lawn cuts and just added those as a layer on top. So more stitching, more videos, will likely be flip throughs or some tutorials on process videos on my journal. And then the last update I have is our series is going to start next Wednesday. So our regular upload day next week for the 13 days of Halloween is going to start next Wednesday. So I'm excited about that. And now I can get all of these collections put away so that I can be working on planning my projects. I'm looking forward to you all joining me, and the whole series is such a great way to connect with my paper crafting family, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, this was a lot of talking for me, so I need to go drink coffee now, and I will see you all next week on Wednesday. If you enjoyed this haul video, don't forget to give me a like. That really helps me out, and a comment if you don't mind. You can find those links in the description for these collections. I'll link everything I can. I don't know about the Dollar Tree items or the Hobby Lobby item, but I'll get the scrapbook.com stuff linked below, as well as Amber's video for the journal. Okay, that's all for me. I need a nap now. So I appreciate all of you watching. So if you're not already, I would love for you to join my channel. And as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day. And I thank you so much for watching. Bye.